Hello students, today we are going to start a new topic, structure of nucleus. Why the nucleus is important, let's understand. Nucleus is the most important part of any cell's body because nucleus have chromosomes in it. These structures are called chromosomes. Nucleus has chromosomes in it and these chromosomes carry character from one generation to another generation. And that's why the children resemble to their parents. That means the complete structure of a human body is present in the form of coding inside the nucleus, and this coding goes from their parents to their children. That's why the nucleus is called most important part of any cell's body. I have written one line here, cell cannot survive without nucleus. That means if we will remove nucleus from cell's body, it will not be able to survive for a very long time. Antony von Leeuwenhoek was the scientist who first seen the nucleus in the RBCs of fish, and the discoverer of the nucleus was Robert Brown. He discovered nucleus in the orchid cell, and this is a eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell means the cell which have nucleus. Some exceptions are also there, that means the cells which are without nucleus. These are mammalian RBC. Mammalian red blood cells do not have any nucleus in it. And in the plants, phloem sieve tube cells do not have any nucleus in it. According to the number of the nucleus present in a cell, the cells are of three types: uninucleate cells, binucleate cells, and multinucleate cells. Uninucleate cells means the cells which have only one nucleus in it, and they are usually and generally found in the cells. Binucleate means two nucleus are present in one cell. For example, paramecium. Multinucleate means more than two nucleus are found in a single cell, and this condition is called multinucleate condition. And for example, striated muscle cells in the human beings, and Opelina is the example, is an animal, unicellular animal which have many nucleus in a single cell. Some other terms are also used for the multinucleate condition, that is syncytial condition, plasmodia, or choanocytic condition. Now come to the structure of nucleus. Nucleus is a rounded structure which is found in the center of the cell. It has two membranes, outer membrane and inner membrane, and these two membranes makes the nuclear envelope. These membranes have some gap between it, and I have shown the gap by the orange color here, and this gap is called perinuclear space. We can see the difference between two membranes. The outer membrane have these rounded ball-like structures, and these are called ribosomes. These structures are called ribosomes. The inner membrane do not have any ribosome in it. We can see many gaps in between the nuclear envelope, and these gaps are called nuclear pore. Pore means the space from which from outside material can go inside, and inside material can come outside through these pores. The exchange of material is done by the nuclear pore. Now we can see on the outer side of the membrane there is the presence of endoplasmic reticulum here. Endoplasmic reticulum. And I have written the rough endoplasmic reticulum here, because this endoplasmic reticulum is directly attached to the nucleus and it have ribosomes on its surface. That's why its surface is rough. Here we can see the endoplasmic reticulum is attached to the outer membrane of the nucleus, but it doesn't have any ribosomes on it. That's why it is called smooth endoplasmic reticulum, SER. This is called RER. This is called SER. Now come to the central part of the nucleus. In the center, a liquid is filled the liquid is present, which is shown by the dotted portion in this diagram. This liquid is called nucleoplasm. And this nucleoplasm, there is the presence of coiled thread-like structure, and this coiled thread-like structure is called chromatin network. And this chromatin network is a hereditary material of a cell. That means this is carrying character from one generation to another generation during the cell division, during the heredity. Next is nucleolus. This rounded portion of the nucleus is called nucleolus. Now, this nucleolus portion has some functions. Now come to this part of the board. Nucleolus was discovered by Fontana in 1781 and named by Wegener in 1840. Nucleolus have many things in it like ribosomal RNA, proteins, calcium, ribosomal units. Ribosomal units are the small pieces or units by combination of which the ribosomes are formed. And RNAs are called precursor of DNA. That means for the formation of DNA, the RNA is responsible because RNA has the information in the form of protein. What is the function of nucleolus? It stores RNA and protein. One important thing about nucleolus is it disintegrates during the cell division. That means when there is a cell division, the nucleolus disappears. But when the cell again comes into the completely developed stage, it will again obvious and clear. So this is the structure of nucleus. We have discussed about it. Let's revise it. Outer membrane called nuclear envelope. The liquid present inside is called nucleoplasm. The thread-like structure is called chromatin fiber. The rounded structure which forms ribosomes and protein is called nucleolus. This is the structure of nucleus. Now, this part is showing two phases, non-dividing phase and dividing phase or during division. When cell is not dividing, in this condition, the chromatin material or chromatin network is in the form of thread-like structures like this. The thread starts thickening before the division. During the division, they are thickened and coiled so much like this, which has been shown by this. Now you can see how much coiling is present. And they make a specific kind of structure during the division, and this structure is called chromosomes. These chromosomes carry character from one generation to another generation. Now let's discuss the structure of chromosomes. See the side. This is a complete structure of chromosome. The center part of the chromosome is called centromere, and these two arms on both the sides of the centromere are called chromatids. And these chromatids is filled with the coiled thread-like structure, and if we will make it enlarge, we can see the structure like this here, and this structure is called DNA, deoxyribose nucleic acid. And a small piece of DNA, a small coiled piece of DNA is called gene, and gene is that part of the nucleus which carry character from one generation to another generation. So we may say it is a small part which carry character, or which is the hereditary unit of the cell. Now see on this side, every living organism have a specific number of chromosomes. Like I have written 3 examples here. Drosophila have 4 pairs of chromosomes in its nucleus. Pea has 7 pairs of chromosomes in its nucleus, and human beings have 23 pairs of chromosomes in its nucleus. So this is the examples of all these animals. Now come to the functions. Functions are, first function of nucleus is control center. Control center means because nucleus is containing information in the form of coding, in the form of DNA inside it, it can control complete characters of any living being. That's why it is called control center. Second is genetic information. That means because DNA or chromosome is carried from one generation to another generation, that's why it carries genetic information from parents to their offsprings. Third is ribosome formation. The nucleolus present inside the nucleus helps in the process of ribosome formation. So this is the complete structure of. I think the structure of nucleus is clear to all of you now. If there is any query, you can comment it in the comment section. So please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.